Um, Ijoma Obi is a driven and forward-thinking educator. She has a degree in English and education and a certification in mass communication from Olabisi Onabanjo University. At the University of Lagos, she's currently finishing up a second degree in education administration. That is a driven and forward-thinking educator. She has a Sorry, guys, that happens when I go live on YouTube. So right now she's about to finish her master's degree. So yeah. She's a proud writer and English instructor. When she's a proud writer, she's an author of books, by the way. So when you say proud writer, she has written books, she has written articles, she's written poems. She's a very great writer. She's an English instructor. She enjoys teaching because it is the light that illuminates a dark path. She holds a Microsoft Educator certification, and she has a certificate in counseling from Udemy. So guys, please let's give it up for the one and only Miss Ijoma Obi. Yay! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Such a privilege. This is such a rare opportunity. You don't know.
Right.
Great to have you. Yes.
Hi.
So, now you're going.
Can you make me a co-host so I can share mine?
Yes, that's what I've done now. So you can share your screen.
Okay, somebody said she's been trying to join. I don't know if people
that would be the person's network, because there are other people here. So probably the person can maybe check their network.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. I know I can't really see all the faces here. Thank you, Dara, for joining, for the support. I'm really grateful. And most importantly, I'm grateful for Adora for giving me this platform this evening. So no need for more introduction. She has done it already. So we just kickstart. I can see names, but I wish we can get to introduce ourselves, but I don't think that we really work. But you can drop your name on the chat so everybody probably get to know you. Okay, so what we're going to do now, aside teaching or aside education, what else do you like doing? So probably drop it on the chat. Let's hear. Aside teaching or, okay, no, you know what? Let me change the question. What do you like about education or about teaching? What do you like? What drew you to it? Why do you like? What do you like about it? If you want to share like verbally, you can raise your hand and then we let you do that. But basically, we can do that on the chat.
Okay. So I'm going to go. Okay, Praise says life transformation. So I wanted to actually go as the first student, because I'm here as a student as well. I'm here to learn.
Okay. So she wants to transform life, right?
Yes, life transformation from Praise.
All right, that's great.
Yes.
I think that's what it's about. Okay, who else? Does anybody have something else to say? Life transformation. Someone else? At least one more person. Why do you enjoy being in this? Okay, someone said, I love education due to the joy I get when discovering new things and passing information to others. I like that thing that you said, because first it's about you and then to others. All right, brilliant. Thank you so much for that response. Others can drop it as you remember. All right, so let's start. I know we have a mixture of people, Muslim and Christian here, but I want to say something, and it came from a scriptural space. That was sometime in October last year, because I journal, and one of those days I was just, studying and brooding, and then I think I came across 2 Corinthians 6:3-6. This is not a minute, like I'm not trying to preach here, but I just want to share something with you. So Paul was saying something about saying we love we live in such a way that no one will stumble because of us, and no one will find fault with our ministry. I like the first one. He said, no one will stumble because of us. That's, we live, and he was talking about his teaching ministry, because Paul was a teacher. Forget what he taught, but he was a teacher. All right. So he was trying to say, this is how we live, this is how we teach, that so no one will stumble. I want you to take that word stumble as we take on this class. All right. Okay, let me read a few things that I think I see. Okay, Kazim said, bringing the best out of every learner, brilliant. It broadens my knowledge and also helped me create a reasonable and resourceful being. I like that. That's from Tunde. All right, so we now know, I shared what Paul said, so no one will stumble. That's why Paul went into his teaching ministry and all that he did. So on that morning, that very morning of October 26, 2022, I'm going to read exactly what I journaled about teaching, because I realized that every time I pass a school, especially a smaller school, I'm always worried, oh, what do they teach these people here? I'm always interested. I wish to go in and know exactly what they're teaching, how they're teaching, what exactly is coming out of the teachers or what the management is giving the children, because I really want to have a classroom where children are really learning, where children are really being impacted. If sometimes, even when I pass a church or somewhere that they say they are teaching something, I'm always interested in knowing what are they teaching. So this is what I journaled, and I'm going to read it as I wrote it. Teaching is a ministry of truth. Forget that I use ministry, just leave the word. It sounds like a church word, but just let it be. Teaching is a ministry of truth, freedom, and empowerment. So when you're teaching, you are sharing truth, you are liberating people, and you are empowering people. That's what teaching is about. Truth, freedom, and empowerment. We must take on the role with every sense of responsibility, because lives depend on the information we share. Like someone said, someone talked about touching lives. So I'll continue. We must take on the role with every sense of responsibility, because lives depend on the information we share. Sorry for people who are not Christians. It is a Jesus sat on the hill and taught position. That's what I wrote. It is an elevated, a very privileged and elevated place. The most important role of teaching is to liberate and to empower, therefore bringing an overall change, transformation in a person's life. No matter what you teach, where you teach, be reminded that lives are dependent on the information you share. Be responsible. Be responsible. You will be judged for these lives, both here on earth and somewhere in heaven or wherever you believe that we'll go after now. Teaching is a compassionate, ministry, whatever you call it. We can only teach what we've learned or received. Don't teach people what you have not internalized, lived, or embodied. Let me tell you why. One of the reasons why teachers struggle in the classroom, because they try to read a topic and come and point on the children. They have not internalized it. They have not lived it. They've not embodied it. This is why this was what I journaled on October last year. That's 26th of October. Because I'm so passionate about teaching. I'm so passionate. I've tried to run away from this whole teaching thing, but I just figured that I can't really run away from it. So today, I haven't read this, so we're going to dive very quickly, because what we're going to do today is long, and I hope that I'm able to finish. So I don't want to waste our time anymore. So I'll just share and we start. So we're going to be looking at the topic, bringing class to the classroom. Okay, is it on display now?
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, it is, but I can't see your video.
You can't see my face anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess maybe because I'm using my phone, I couldn't use my laptop.
It's okay.
Is that why?
Probably oh, can you all see her face? Except it's just me. I'm going to change my view. Okay, I can see your face now. Perfect.
Okay, my
Yes,
video
because
turned up.
Yeah, okay, I can see your face now.
All right, thank you. So let's dive in because this is a long, this is a long one. All right, so bringing class to the classroom. So here, the objective is to help educators bring value and create lasting impression through their work. So I want you to take note of that. I'm going to jump. So our course outline today will be personal branding, personal values, classroom etiquette, psychology of dressing well, parent-teacher relationship. I hope you make it to the last one, and I'm going to be very fast because that last one is very, very important, parent-teacher relationship. So we're going to, the first question is, do you have class? There's a word, I think some years, 3 years now, that I put up in my front door. Bring your class into the classroom or something like that. All right. Okay, no, I said we are the class in the classroom. All right. So the question now, do you have class? I want you to think about it. If you have class, you can say yes or no. All right. So do you have class? So one of the questions you're going to ask, what is class? What exactly is class? And we're going to go over it and look. There's a quote here that says, you can pay for education, but you can't buy class. All right. So you can go to school, get certified, but then there's no class. And that's what we see today in Nigeria. People wear suits. Sometimes I'm afraid of people who wear suits because sometimes the way they act, the way they behave, the way they speak doesn't really show that they went to school. So class is not what you gain sometimes in the four walls of a school. It's a character that you grow into over time. So let's look at what class is. Now, a set of category of things having some properties or attributes in common and differentiated from others by type, kind, or quality. So I want you to take note of the underlying words there. So basically, class talks about differentiating something from others because of the way it is, the kind, the type, or quality. So do you have class? So you can answer that if you look at yourself, look at where you work, look at your work. Is there a kind of distinction, a kind of quality attached to what you do or who you are as a person? That's class, all right? Okay, so the adjective part of it is saying showing stylish excellence. So when you talk about class, you're talking about quality, you're talking about excellence. So I want you to be reflecting while we look at this. Do you have quality? As a person, are you a person of excellence? Does your work reflect quality and excellence? Because remember, this class is bringing class to the classroom. But the good thing is that actually this course is not basically for teachers. It's for everyone who works in a school. But then teachers, because of we interact with the children more. So class is an intangible quality which commands rather than demands the respect of others. All right. So it's intangible, meaning that you can't see it, but it's a quality that commands. It doesn't demand. You ooze it. If you are someone of class, your parents know. We're going to get to that when we get to parent-teacher relationship. Your parents know. So the way they interact with you will be different from the way they interact with others. The way, the kind of gifts they buy you, the way they even give you the gift is different from the way they do to all the other people, because there's this thing about you that you don't demand, you're not shouting about, you're not saying, oh, this parent is shouting over. The children know, the school management even sees and knows. So that's what class is intangible, a quality which commands rather than demands. All right, so we move very forward. We're still talking about class. Class is an aura of confidence that is being sure without being cocky. I want you to take note of this word, sure without cocky, Class has nothing to do with money. Class never runs scared. It is self-discipline and self-knowledge, is the sure-footedness that comes with having proved you can meet life. We're going to jump. So let's quickly look at ways to achieve class. So the outlook we're looking at right now is building quality and excellence. Remember, that's what we learned class is. How do we build quality and excellence as teachers? Okay? Because what we're looking at someone who is bringing class into the classroom, who is bringing quality and excellence into the classroom, whether as a person and then your work. Okay, so because of time, so the first thing we're going to talk about is your personal brand. Personal brand. Okay, so what does personal brand mean? Your brand is who you are. It is an impression of you based on your experience, expertise, and competencies. All right, so if you go to the outside the school environment, everybody talks, you see brands. Oh yeah, let's just talk about the companies, the iPhone, okay, yes, Apple, Samsung, MTN, and all of that. There's something unique about each of these brands. That's the reason why you buy these brands. That's a uniqueness about them. So over the time, people have tried to bring down branding to personal level, not just the company building a brand, but you standing for something. What are you known for? What do people know you for? Whether, this training, this particular place now, it's not even just about the classroom or the school where you teach, it's about you. What are you known for? There must be something about you, a quality that stands you out, an excellence about you, and that when you meet people, you leave that impression with them. It could be the way you speak, it could be the way you interact, it could be the way you dress. There must be something impressive about you, all right, that you leave behind when you meet people and when you leave after meeting people. All right, that's your personal brand. So according to Wikipedia, the process of personal branding involves finding your uniqueness, building a reputation on the things you want to be known for, and then allowing yourself to be known for them. Ultimately, the goal is to create something that conveys a message that can be monetized. Eventually, you can name a price. So that's why if you have a quality about you, you have a quality about you, you can enter companies and demand to be paid a certain amount of money. So sometimes when teachers are in schools and they're complaining they're not paying us much, they're not increasing our values, they're not increasing our money, one of the questions is, what are you bringing to the table? What is different about you? What is that about you that you are crying that money should be paid to you? If you are the same, there's no uniqueness, you're not bringing any newness, new idea, and you are saying, oh, I need to be paid more, it doesn't make sense. So that's what personal branding is. All right, so you are your own brand, you represent yourself. I want you to know that even though you are in a company or you are in a school that has a vision, that has a mission, but you are representing you. There's the uniqueness about you that even the school is aware of. That's why sometimes they can call you up for certain thing. Maybe you are just very good with creativity. There's some when you are giving work, you do it in a very creative way that brings newness to it. You are your own brand. You are representing yourself. When you are in the classroom, I want you to know this. The way you teach the children, the way you interact with parents, the way you respond to reports and everything, you are representing yourself. So what are you bringing to the table? I'm going to be jumping because there's more to. So when you're talking about personal brand, in a nutshell, what does it mean? Your image, your mission, your values, and your vision. I'm going to be very fast now. Your image, a visual representation of you, how other people see and perceive you. That's the impression. So when you're talking about branding, what is your image? Do people know you as a very intelligent teacher, a very resourceful teacher, or that teacher or that educator that that is always complaining, or that educator that is always submitting submitting late, being a late, submitting assignments late, or not grading children's work properly, or making errors, or what if you go about your school or whatever you do in school and ask people about you, especially when it comes to your work. Let's even leave personal stuff about your work and relationship with others. What will they be saying about you? So that's your image. Your mission is an important task or a purpose that you are pursuing or dedicated to. So even though you are working for somebody, you must have a mission. When I entered dancehall, okay, before I even started teaching, I already knew what I was going to school to do. So sometimes the school will even make some rules that will be annoying, or sometimes some of the rules we want to stifle some things. But because you are focused, you know that there's something I want to bring here. There's a certain level of, there's something I want to bring in here. You are driven by it. Sometimes the frustration, especially because I know that one time we had I know one time, please just excuse me. I want to, sorry, please. Let me just send somebody. Somebody wants to join, so I just want to. So I know sometimes you may have a bad leader, which I've experienced. It was almost, like depressing everyone, but because I had a reason for being in that space. All right. So I made sure that I kept it in my head, and I was pursuing, and I was dedicated to the children. So whatever happened within the staff, I don't take it into the classroom. I make sure that I focus on my children, because those are the people I came here to influence. All right. So your vision is your ability to see and plan for the future with imagination and wisdom. This is generally about branding. So you must have a vision. What is it that you see? So, but once you relate it to your classroom, is vision. See, a teacher that doesn't have vision, that's why I'm always interested in what people are teaching children. If you don't have a personal vision, if you're someone who is not imaginative, you're going to bore the children. I'm going to get to a place. I know that I'll still get there, but I want to even ask, how many of you watched the coronation today? Some people say, hey, I don't care. But as a teacher, you must care, especially if you're teaching young children, because these are world events that can bring up conversations in the classroom. And you want to interest them with events. You want your children to know that you are visionary, that as much as they're seeking information, that you too, you're interested in information. This is what brings, but we're going to get there. But the fact is that your vision is see a plan for the future with imagination and wisdom. What is that plan? And because these plans are what is going to drive you in the classroom, it's going to drive your lesson notes, it's going to drive your delivery, it's going to drive your relationship with your children, your kind of what's it called? The way you structure your lesson plans. All right. So let's move. Your value is the worth or importance attached to you. So what's your price? What's your price? Can you name a price? All right. So that's your value, your worth or importance. Okay. So basically, this is a breakdown. I don't want to go into this one. I'm going to skip it. So you have your mission. You can just take a graph, mission, what you do now, for who, just a breakdown of what all of this thing is. You can take it down and build on it, but I'm going to move on now. So we go to personal values. Personal values. What does personal value mean? Personal values are broad, desirable goals that motivate people, actions, and serves as guiding principles in their lives. These principles influence your behavior and personality traits and guide you through success and challenging times. These individual values inform your decision-making, aspiration, and relationship with loved one. You know what I like about personal branding and value? It has not is not limited to classroom. Okay, so I'm trying to see what you're typing if it is to me. Okay, so one thing I like about this is that it's not limited to classroom. Anybody here, whether you're in the classroom or not, you're in the classroom, just even as a human being living on earth, you need values, because these values are what will guide you. Even your organization, wherever you are, these values are going to guide you. What motivates you? You know, what are your characteristics? What influences your behaviors? All right. So these values are the things that inform you when you make decisions. It forms your aspiration and relationship with loved ones. So let's look at some of these values. What are your values? Let's look at what we have here. Excellence, honesty, trust, growth, achievement, accountability, consistency, rule, success, faith, many of them. So what are your values? You need to ask yourself, what are my values? See, if you don't have values in life, you'll be caught up in the web of the noise all around. Let's not even enter the classroom yet. We're talking about everyday life event. If you don't stand for anything, you're going to fall. All right. But and people that don't have value are easily captured by people's words, because the moment they get emotionally, someone's speech can easily distort their emotion. They begin to lose sight of whatever they have. But if you're someone of excellence, no matter how tough something is, you will pursue that excellence. If you are honest, okay, let me just use honest as an example. As a teacher, sometimes teachers try to blow up things and they cause issues for themselves in the classroom, and I hate it. You see a child that is not doing well, instead of you to find a proper way to speak the English and a humble way to engage the parent and tell the parents, okay, this is what is happening and this is what we can do. Then what teachers do is that they begin to, because they don't want to face the parents. What they do is to start adding maybe mark for the child, or then the parent, he's fine. What an amazing child he is. Then at the end of everything, the thing will turn on you, because when the child doesn't do well, the parent will come back on you and say, okay, well, I thought the child was doing well, and then it becomes a problem. What you could have solved being honest. I remember our report booklet. I think honesty, I think is this quality, honesty. Yeah. So whenever we are taking it, I never give anybody very good. I never give anybody very good. I think it's honesty or something. I do, okay, I never give anybody excellent. So one parent now asked me one time that my child, I know the girl is a very wonderful child, that why don't you, I don't know if it's honesty, I can't remember. Why don't you, I said, because I can't account for every conversation, especially even with with her classmates. I can't account for it. So honest, I can't account for it. That's why I can't give her excellent. All right. So the woman just left it that way. All right. So somebody said something here that when you are speaking with parents, start with the positive. Exactly. You start with the positive, even the negative. There's nothing negative. It's just the way you present it and how you present it. But always start with the good quality, the good qualities. But basically, these are your values. Please, values are important when you are doing anything in the classroom, especially when it comes to your work and your relationship with parents. This will go a long way for you. All right, so nugget of wisdom. Teaching or serving people is an extraordinary way of letting others see and experience life through you. It is a platform to tell your story and impact lives. Be genuine in your approach. Okay? So the truth about the whole thing is that when you stand to teach somebody something, do you know what you're doing? You're basically letting these children see life through you. So the question is that how much life have you seen? How much life have you experienced? Somebody's going to say, oh, I'm just 25 years old. No, that's not what I mean. I actually mean you can experience life without being old, by reading, by being observant, by being someone who seeks knowledge. So that is it. Because when you are there explaining concept to children, you must explain it in a way that you are broadening their mind. You're making them hungry for information because you are gathering information. You are giving them instances from, I'm not saying go and pour, don't overdo it all. Don't go and, go to teach and you think you are teaching a university student. But I mean, even to the, especially if you are teaching young children, even to the extent that you are watching cartoons, even though you hate cartoons, you know what? Because you can easily relate with cartoons with them, especially when you are teaching some concepts and you have to remember something. I remember one time I was teaching children courage, and I remembered a cartoon that I used to watch one time, and it's Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was a long time. And it was funny because the cartoon really represented everything that we want to talk about courage. Do you know what this makes you be? It draws the children closer to you. So every time you are standing to teach, know that you are letting these people experience life through you. So how much of experience do you have? How much information, how much knowledge, how much life have you experienced? All right. And I've explained what that means. Okay, somebody say, okay, SpongeBob. Exactly. You will see how excited they are. Okay, I remember one time, this my children, I don't like games. I don't even have any game on this phone. If I have any game, it's word game on word game, like opposite and all of that. I don't have any type of game. The highest game I've ever had on my phone is Fruit Slash, and I don't even have any more. So because I used to have conversation with my children and they enjoy it, I get, so they wanted me to download this common, hey, what's the name of that game that was raining that time? Roblox. They were excited about it. They were telling me about this, that I should download it, blah, blah, blah. Even though I know I will not play it. I just downloaded it, sha. But because it was blocking my space, later when everything calmed down and that set left my class, I deleted it. But just to get involved with them and know what it is. I never played that game for once, but I downloaded it. Sometimes I give them my phone. Okay, I don't think anybody uses my phone, but just for them to know that, you are. So let's very quickly say, okay, implication and benefits of personal branding. Give more in use value than you receive in cash. I know teachers complain about money a lot. They're not paying it a lot, as much as, because I passed through Danso, which is one of the best school ever in this Lagos in terms of, like, I like the school atmosphere and all of that, and progressiveness. They're very progressive. Give more in using value. See, do you know why you should not base on money? Because everything that you give is you showcasing yourself. You can't say, I don't want to do this because they don't pay me. Excuse me, you are shrinking yourself because you are sharpening your skill. Like, I care that they pay me more, but I care that they see how much I have. While I was in dance, it's not like I'm great. While I was in dance, I started up a magazine. Now I left. I did it 2 years. We started printing school magazine because that has always been my intention. We started printing school magazines. I did not get one accolade. In short, I did not get one accolade for it. Not in the way of accolade, maybe pay and all of that. No, I didn't. But I enjoyed it because at the end of everything, my name is painted as the editor and the children submit to me. They know that I am the one that is handling this. And that's the value I've brought. My money did not increase. Oh yeah, I got responsibilities, but my money didn't increase. But I loved it. I love that I left a legacy with them there. I think they're doing the 3rd edition now. All right. Give more in value. Don't think about money all the time. Because when you are giving more in value, you're not doing it for them. It is you sharpening your skills. I know in my church now, they say, oh, come and write a poem for us. I did not plan to put a poem, like gather poems and say I want to publish a poem. No, but over the time, I noticed that I've had so much poem. And when they tell me to write it, I gladly do it. Nobody has paid me a dime. You know what? Because every time it's helping me sharpen my writing skills. So that's what it means. It's about you. It's really not about the money, but at least if your school can increase the pay, fine. That's what I don't mean they should not increase cash. They should. I enjoy teaching. Your values influence the quality of work you do. So, like we've talked about it, the quality, the work you do. So, if you have good quality, if you are someone who cares about the outlook of your work, or how you will see, you influence your work, you influence your classroom, even the way you arrange your classroom, even the way you decorate your classroom. It will be looked from the eyes of excellence and quality. Yeah, even the way you everything about you, the way you do your reports, the way you whatever it is that you are given to do. If you are someone who has value, it will show in your work. There's no excuse. It's not about whether they are paying you well or they're not paying you well, whether you are working in a low budget school or highbrow school, whatever. What matters is not where you are. It's actually what it's about yourself. It has nothing, even outside school. If somebody gives you work to do, if I give you work to do, if you bring the work to me, you already told me who you are. If you do it haphazardly, I already know that your values are low. So it has nothing to do with where you're working, who is paying you, and how much you're earning. So check your work. Your work tells who you are, exactly. Your values should complement your organization's values. So don't overdo yourself. Make sure that if your school is, make sure that you're within the organizational values too. Make sure that you blend in, your values blend in with whatever it is, so that the puzzle will fit in. Okay, even if there's some value. So if you are in a space where your values are clashing, you better just leave. You better just leave so that you don't. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know if there are Muslims here, but in Dansol, because the Christian is a core Christian school, they don't employ Muslims, and it's not like they hate Muslims. But do you know the funny thing? We have Muslim students there, but it just because they core, because a Muslim wouldn't want to come and teach, because we do, that's like a church. That's like a church almost. All right, so I'm sure that's why they didn't want to like do that, because the values are not the same. So but if you as a Muslim student say, I want to be here, no problem. They will never ever, you in short, they will not even treat you. They don't even know that it's nothing. There's no bias about it. You're a normal student. They respect you. They respect everything. That's why I like the place, because they're they know what they're doing. Every time you use your gift, skill, or talent, you are sharpening them and making yourself more visible. So I've said that before. Don't hide. Don't say, okay, because they don't pay me or blah blah blah. The thing is that you're actually selling yourself. Do you know the thing here? When even if school is not paying for it, do you know people are looking? School is looking. Parents are seeing the quality of your work. So anybody can recommend you to any place. Yesterday I posted something on my status about, because I like nature. So I posted something. A parent that I used to teach the child, kind of responded to that. You know what? Because before I left the school, it almost looked like I was going to have an issue with the parent, because she has always been a wonderful parent to me. But there was something that came up about her child in my class. But I mean, thank God for the wisdom, the way I handled it, and I let it go. So what am I saying? These parents are seeing you. You may be thinking, oh, I'm not doing it. This is beyond my responsibility, but it's you sharpening your skills. So let's move on, because I have said that before. Respond to negative attitude towards you with positivity, elevates your image and brings you respect. So I know that it's difficult sometimes as teachers when some parents are bullies and they're looking down at you, but it's also same for companies, because at least now I've spent few time outside the school environment, and I've seen that people sometimes just want to look down on you. But what I want to say to teachers is, don't take it to heart, because sometimes it can get annoying. Sometimes some parents will see a mistake, maybe in their child's notes, and magnify it. I remember one time I taught a primary colors, and I mistaken one of it. And I am so glad that anyways, I had a good relationship with the parent, because the children liked me. So because they liked me, I was good with their parents. So the the parent just called me and said, oh, this is what I saw in my son's, and I was so happy. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Ma, it was a mistake. And that was it. The case died down. But I'm telling you that some parent, that case would have reached the head of school, and it would be like, oh, this person is always making mistake. And that was it. So even if the parent took it too far and took it to the head of school, you should also don't take it out on the child, don't take it out on the parent. Just know that every correction, whether it came with a negative attitude, is to help you become more efficient. What we will now make you do as a teacher is that you're not looking at your work through a microscope, making sure that you are not hurrying over your work, but you're looking through to see that every I is dotted and every T is crossed. And before you know it, there's a certain level of quality your work will have. That's what I'm trying to say. No matter how it's thrown at you, respond with positivity. All right. So let's go. How to build personal values. I'm going to be fast now. Tips for improving personal brand. Learn from great people around you. So it's important that you learn from great people around you. On the internet, people that's been in education before, or however, and even if it's not education, because someone in education must learn from every angle, because you are teaching from every angle. Learn sports, learn about animals, learn about people and places. So go ahead and learn. Seek personal growth through research and reading. So if you want to improve yourself, you must always read and research. Google is your friend. Get to know things. And I don't know about you, but I've met some children that can floor you, that can tell you things that I had them. Like, I think I had 2 of them in the last session, and session before, these people gave me boost. They kept me on my toes. So even sometimes when I don't know something, I'll just have to find a way to say it. I just let the person champion it, and then I'll find a way to get more information on that. All right. So make sure you are researching and growing. It will show in your work, and that will bring you respect. Seek spiritual growth. It helps calm yourself, because teaching can be an emotional journey. When you're having your issues and you're coming to class, meeting, as an adult, handling children and they're whining and all of that, sometimes if you are not emotionally balanced, if you're not spiritually stable, you can begin to react, and it will not be nice. So sometimes you are coming to school with all your adult issues, but if you are spiritually matured to a level, you by the time you're getting there, words, comforting words are surging through your mind and telling you to focus, and then it helps you really, it drives you and drives your values and all of that. Identify your strengths and weaknesses. Build on your strengths and strengthen your weaknesses. You've had that like many times. All right. Exactly. High emotional intelligence. Yes. Identify your strengths and weaknesses. Build on your strengths and strengthen your weaknesses. So first of all, identify your strength. So that your strength, push it forward. If you are very good at speaking, let your voice be heard. When you are to conduct assembly, please make sure you get ready and speak that English well. If you are very good with dressing, please always dress well. And when it's your turn to man the gate, excuse me, do that. That your strength, push it forward, let people see it. If you push forward your strength, let me tell you about your weaknesses. It will be minor. People won't really notice it that much. All right. So that your strength, push it forward. Make sure that is top notch. And then the weakness, then behind, take little by little, begin to build it to gain strength. Be transparent. Yes, be transparent to your fellow, to the other people, to the children. Practice empathy. Offer your best services. Empathy, we can't really talk much. We can't really overemphasize it. Empathy is putting yourself in other people's shoes. Let me say this: empathize with children and empathize with everybody around you. I don't want to waste time here because we're going to still talk about it. Offer your best services. That's what I mean. Nuggets of wisdom. When you offer less than the best, you rob yourself and you rob the world. You become part of the problem instead of a solution. Now, let me look at this. Offer your best services. And here we're saying, when you offer less than the best, you rob yourself. So you see, you're stealing from yourself and you rob the world. You become part of the problem instead of a solution. Is this true or false? So somebody can share with us so that I can now speed again. Does anybody want to say about this? Does anybody have anything to say about this?
You can unmute yourself if you have okay,
Anything?
comments.
Okay, Richard says it's true. Okay, it's true. Okay, thank you. I think many people don't want to talk. But the fact is that when people are hiding themselves, they don't know that they are robbing themselves. You know, you're doing yourself. You have opportunity to showcase yourself, build yourself, and push yourself forward. Even if nobody's maybe giving you accolades at the time, but then you withdraw and you think you're doing somebody. No, you are doing yourself. You are robbing yourself of your best. And then eventually you are robbing the world because there's something in you that the world can take from. All right. So I can see my friend is here. Thank you for joining our. Okay, so exactly. You wouldn't be yourself. So every time you don't offer your best work, I don't care whether it's just to write comments and you're just writing nonsense. Thank God for Quillbox now, but don't you overuse it because it will rob off your creativity. If you are writing, just write anything you like. Put your comment. Excuse me, you are robbing yourself. You are making yourself look like a mediocre. I don't care what you do. You're making yourself look like a mediocre. So let's move on now. So quote, it's the teacher that makes the difference, not the classroom. That's Michael Mopugo. Okay, let me see. I don't have a gift, but does anybody know who Michael Mopugo is? Let me see if anybody knows who Michael Mopugo is. If you know, just tell us. Next time, maybe I'll bring a gift. Who is Michael Mopugo? Nobody knows. Do we have English teachers here? Do we have any English teacher here? Okay, this class is quiet, but let me just move on. Michael Mopugo is a children's author. He's British, has written many amazing books. I think I read a lot of his books. And can I say again, though, that if you're a teacher, please, can you try and read some children's book? Yes. Apart from the fact that it's very, there's a word, it eases off your stress from all your adult thing, gives you that magical thing. But you're teaching children, especially if you're teaching primary. Please get to your library, borrow some children's book and read it. Yes, children's storybook. So that's what Michael Mopugo, a children's author, that's what he said. He said, it's the teacher that makes the difference, not the classroom. Because as a teacher, you want to encourage the children to read. So how do you encourage them to read if you don't read, especially if you don't read their work? Please go and read it. They are so interesting. I can share with you. You can start with Michael Mopugo's book. You can read, if you want to really enjoy children's book, you can start with the classics like Adventure of Jack, what's his name? You can read things like Secret Garden. You can read like Children of the Railroad, all those ones, because they are classics and Heidi, yeah, exactly. You read the classics, they're very, very interesting. There's even the one I have in my house now, something I can't remember the name. Exactly. Thank you, Fatima. I like that. Please, I'm encouraging you, do that. You will, in short, even as adults, it will help your stress level. I'm telling you. Okay, so let's go to classroom etiquette very quickly because we still have I'm going to jump very quickly now, very fast. I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to jump now. So let's go to classroom etiquettes. Basically, what etiquettes are manners. And manner, it says, are a sensitive awareness of the feelings of others. If you have the awareness, you have good manners, no matter what fork you use. Normally, when we think about manners or poise, we talk about dining, we talk about, the King Charles and family people. Exactly. Somebody is saying that, reading children's book is like connecting. Exactly. It helps you even connect more with them. Okay, so we're now talking about manners. So that when you think about manners, you don't know actually that manners is about respecting others and respecting boundaries. All right. So that's basically what it is. Manners is knowing the right things to do when you are outside. All right. So we're going to do that very quickly. Classroom dues for teachers. Prepare. So these are classrooms etiquettes. Be prepared. Don't come to the class unprepared. Please, I know no matter how intelligent you are, please always try to go through your notes, because sometimes, sometimes I don't go through my work. I'll now go to class. I think I will just say, especially maybe some topics in English. I think it's later that I'll find out that, I have said something that is not supposed to be said. And sometimes I'm lucky if those brilliant one has not caught me. So I make sure that the next day I come to class, that's the first correction I'm making. Because I hate to teach somebody something that is incorrect. I can go anywhere to correct myself. If I found out that I've said something that's not fact or true, I hate to give people wrong information. So be prepared. Make sure that, and because nobody's above mistake. If you find out I've given wrong information, make sure that the next class or the next available opportunity you have, you are correcting it. All right. So be prepared. Get your lesson notes ready. Get your things ready. Be explicit about rules and expectations. When you enter a class, let the children know because this will come out from your values. When I enter a teacher's class, I will already know what the person's value is by the way the children behave in the class. So let the children know this is what we expect in this class. If you imagine a lawless class, so rules and regulation doesn't just mean say, do not do this, do not do that. Because even now, instead of you saying do not do, you explain it in a positive way. In this class, we keep the class clean. We do not litter instead of saying do not litter. You see how it is. You communicate the positive. In this class, we keep the class clean. We do not litter. In this class, we raise our hands to answer questions and we do not interrupt. In this class, we say, excuse me. You see how positively you are explicit. And one of the things I learned as a teacher is that the first week children are entering your class, let them know where they are keeping their water bottle, especially if they don't have a place they keep their water bottle. Like in my school, they have a place where they keep their bags, but really water bottle, there's no place to, but there's no specific place that you keep your water bottle. But just so that you don't have children wandering around, going outside to their bags and saying, oh, I want to go and get water. The moment they're coming in the first time, especially in the first term, these are the things you're sitting down and making and talking over with them. Okay, so in this class, if you are there, that's where you'll be putting your water bottle. That's where you'll be. So let them know, because you can't be punishing a child for something that you haven't said, you haven't even told them how to go about. You can't you can't even punish anybody for rules that you haven't really set. Right? So let it be explicit. Somebody's saying, oh, you set the rules with them. Yes, you know the rules as a teacher. You just want to sit down and discuss it with them and say, this is why we do what we do here. All right. So make sure that the children know. Like in my classroom, in my bathroom, I had 2 napkins, one for the hand and one for the table. So as they were coming in, I already went and I showed them this napkin. I'm going to hang it here. It's for your hand after washing your hand. This is it. This one here is for the table. They know. What is it? Before we eat our food, everybody must line up to wash their hands. It's a rule, it's explicit. Nobody, it's not going to change. It's only going to change. Maybe we want to eat and there's no water running. All right. So, but basically that's what it is for the children, because children, that's how you bring order. That's how you grow children to have to build up good morals. So leave your problems at the door. I've said that. So we move on now. As an adult, sometimes I'm coming to school, I don't even want to come. But the moment I enter, sometimes just seeing the smiles on the children's face or even a hug is enough. So even if it's not even about the classroom. See, let me tell you something. If you have a problem, if you are leaving your house, start to talk yourself, because you're going to meet people. Don't rub off your problem on other people. Don't go outside and start because you had a bad day or have a bad mood. Then everybody, you're sulking. Everybody, when you now go outside, you're not making everybody, feel bad. Or no, please, it's not even a good thing. It doesn't show your emotional intelligence is low if you're someone who carries your problem about, because you're going to use it to affect other people's life. All right. So just, if you need to speak about it with someone, but please don't take it out on other people. Keep your desk neatly arranged and your corner clean. One thing I've realized about some teachers, they like load. Oh my God. One small corner they have given you, I don't know whether it's the resources that you've used since you have been teaching since 1987. You will pack everything under your desk. I hate clustered working space. So I always, I never kept, I thought for 6 years, if you come to my corner, you will never see anything under my table except the things I brought to school that day, maybe my slippers. That's all. And then a few books on my desk to show that I'm a teacher, and my laptop. I don't know why teachers do it, but please don't, just because you need to show example, make sure that you uncluster your table. If there are things there, you can find shelves there or some that you need to dispose them, make sure they're cleared. Even if you need to keep something, maybe a little carton, let it not be too much. Let there be space, let it be clear and clean. All right. Maintain a clean classroom. Because your classroom is like the outer world. How the children maintain their space is how they will maintain their country, Nigeria. Exactly. It's depressing as a cluster space. I hate it. I don't know if you take me to someone else's class and the place is clustered. I don't like sitting in that classroom. I don't even like staying there for too long. So maintain a clean classroom for children. Let them know that they can litter. So when I was in class, they don't even have the chance to litter. Okay, we have cleaners, but sometimes when I taught junior school, okay, primary one at the time, I was winning the neatest class, and it was primary one, and it wasn't my responsibility. But I will never. They will spill water out. They will do this, so I'll keep mobbing. You can come to my class, and I can mob like 10 times in a day. It wasn't my job. Except if it's a pool, then I'll call the person to clean it. But then the children were also aware that they're not going to mess up the class. Just a few times when I see that there's a lot they can't do better themselves. That was when I was in lower primary. But when I got to primary 4, I didn't do all those things. Okay, I did, depending, because I did to a level, but I made sure that the children do it. I gave them responsibility, like somebody said. So please, your classroom is a representation of the wider society. If the children don't learn to keep their space clean, no matter how, even just when they're eating snacks, even the crumbs of biscuits should not be left on their desk. They must know that they shouldn't be eating, because if you have etiquette and you're eating, you shouldn't have crumbs everywhere. You can't be having crumbs. Let them learn the proper way to eat, right? So engage learners with specific responsibilities, like somebody just mentioned. So you could decide, and that's how, instead of just having one class captain, you can have an overall class captain, but you can just give responsibility, unnecessary responsibility. You can say, these ones are pen collectors. So after writing, everybody submit your pen. These ones are book distributors. This one take care of that. This one, okay, I used to have a neatness freaks 1 year like that. I didn't have it the last time. They called them neatness freaks. Their job is to make sure that the class is continuously neat. So if people are littering and they are not controlling, then they will clean it themselves. And they did a mighty, mighty good job. So let the children, you can even give responsibility as responsibility as nothing as board cleaner, name it whatever. Children just want to have something to do. I'm telling you the truth. So just give them something and you will see them do it. That you are teaching them responsibility and leadership skill. So, and again, it will help you to know who to hold. To, if something is going wrong, say, hey, this is your responsibility. You're not getting it done. You know, and that's what the wider society represents. So let them know that. Speak to learners with respect. Use please when asking them to help out with something. Say thank you afterwards. All right. So sometimes we think that we can easily just talk to children anyhow. No, please regard them, because you are raising them to. If you check, there's some words you use constantly that you realize that the children are beginning to use on each other. So when you send them something to do, say, oh, please, can you help me? When you're done, oh, thank you. Please, it's very important. Oh, you can even put their insight. Thank you there. They will know that you are with them. All right. So give each learner a listening ear. No matter, I know that some children are quite difficult to love. Yeah, that some children naturally you just love them. You like them. I don't know. I don't know if it happens to everybody, but there are some you are finding difficult. I don't know why. Maybe it's the way they behave or just something about them or about their parent. I don't know. But every child must be heard. Some children don't like answering questions and they stutter. Sometimes you have to pause your class and hear them. You can waste time, but let them speak. I'm telling you, you can waste time, but let them speak. Let them know that that you see them and you hear them. Because if you keep ignoring them, you know, it will tell on you, because then it's a reflection. That reflection, they will not warm up to you, and it will reflect on how they relate with what they say to you about what they say to their parents about you, and it will not help you build a good relationship. So please be patient with every child. Let them know that you see them and hear them. It's difficult sometimes, but you can do it. Give learners space to be themselves. Some teachers, they can stress children. Put your head down, sleep. God, can you give these children breathing space? Sometimes let your class be noisy. It's not bad. I know sometimes school will say, let me tell you something. This is their most creative period. That's when they have conversation that when you are listening, like, oh my God, what are they saying? It's not all the time. Let them jump around in your classroom. Please give them space. It's not every time sleep, don't talk. You are killing their vibe. You are killing their creativity. Stop it. It's not nice. I know that maybe in your school, they tell you to, especially when you are teaching younger children. See, let me tell you something. By the time you give them this space, this is when you hear children converse and have conversations that you are like, oh my God, how do these people know this? Please let them play in your class, I mean. But let them know that there's time for it, especially when there's time and they can do it. Not like when the other people are having lessons and they're disturbing. No. It's not that your children are sleeping doesn't make you a good teacher. Let me not just tell you the truth. If you're that teacher that is always saying, put your head down, that does not make you a good teacher. That means you're a boring teacher and you don't know what to do with your children. Yes. They can do meaningful things without making noise. They can make noise and it's meaningful. So find ways to make sure that they are not lousy, like, they're not like, it's not too loud, but don't always shut them up. Don't always say, sit down and close your eyes. But sometimes they have to sit down and be quiet, but then just find a balance. That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes in school, they make you think that it's always when your children are putting their head down that you are the best teacher. Excuse me, you're not. You're a boring teacher. That's what it means. If I come to your class and your children are always putting their head down, you're boring. You're killing those children's vibe. Sorry, you're killing their vibe. I won't be in your class if I'm that child. Share personal stories and laugh at silly jokes. Oh, some teachers are too serious. Oh my God, can you stop being too serious? Please, can you let your children warm up to you, have conversations with you? Then they'll be able to open up. Sometimes when you are sharing things, tell them some of your stories that are funny. Not like, don't go and be sharing your adult stories with them or that we bore them. Like, maybe somebody brings something to you or somebody cracks a joke. You have a joker in class, laugh out loud with them, please. All right. Let them, if somebody shares a story, maybe if you have a counter story, share, enjoy, see how that teacher is. Sometimes have this moment. This is what makes you the amazing teacher that you are. It shows that you are warm. It shows that you are caring. See, by the time you become this kind of teachers, this kind of teacher, when your parents are talking to you, you will know that is what the reports that they are getting from their children. Create boundaries, be a teacher, be a friend, let the learners know the difference. So after saying all that I've said about being a friendly and funny teacher, you must create boundaries. Yes, sometimes teachers forget, okay, we have two types. Some people that are so teacher that they make their children run away from them, and some people that are too friendly that the children are now rolling and they're running all over the place, or they're hanging on your leg, hanging on your shoulder all the time. No, let them know when you are in your teacher space, and let them respect the voice of your teacher, of your teacher voice. But let them also know that you're a friend. That's why sometimes you'll be in this space with them. You joke about, you tease each other. That's different. When you are in your teacher form, they will know. So create boundaries, but let them know the difference. So quotes, the hardest job kids face today is learning good manners without seeing any. I like that. The hardest job children face is learning good manners without seeing any. So if you are going to teach your children to be neat, to be all those, and your table is a mess all the time, and you're not coming to class with, you're not looking well, excuse me, you are just wasting your time. So the last part here says, you are the class in the classroom. Exactly, walk the talk, model and inspire. Hello, you are the class. You are the vibe. You are everything in that class. Don't just tell me what you are not doing. I don't want to hear you. I want to see you represent everything. If you say speak good English, I want to hear you speak good English. If you say, oh, why is your clothes so rumpled today? I want to come to school and see that you are smelling well and you are looking well. All right, you are the class. Model it. Everything that you say, model it and inspire the children. Let the children be inspired by you. When I told my children I was running my course in Unilag, they knew, they told their parents. I didn't, because sometimes I had to leave school to go for classes. They know that you can't stop learning. They now start telling me, oh, my mom is still doing this course. My mom is still doing that course. I'm not saying go and be bragging about it, but let them know that you are also inspiring for things, that all of you are on the path to greatness. And you are, even though you are their teacher, you are on the same path. All right. So let's keep moving because of time. So I'm going to rush psychology of dressing because of time. I said I'm going to take just 1 hour, 30 minutes. And then if you have questions, psychology of dressing. This is one of the reasons why some people didn't want to become teachers, because we didn't see teachers as people who we wanted to be like. I don't know if you were like me, who entered this teaching space because I feel destiny driving me here, not because somebody modeled and inspired it to me, even though I liked some of my teachers when I was in secondary school year. All right. But we had issue with teachers not appearing. Yes, this is me, Miss IJ. Okay. So we had issues with teachers appearing anyhow they liked. And it's sad. Imagine you come to school, if you teach in a rich school, some of these parents take time to launder their children's school uniform, well ironed, well combed and oiled hair, school bag bought in America with everything bought from abroad, school shoes polished, and then they put perfume and you come to school, oh Jesus Christ, and you want to teach children that are well-traveled, even if they're not well-traveled. Because even those people that are not well-traveled, they want to look at you and inspire. Do you know, it got to a time in dancehall, most students started saying, I want to become teachers. It was now some of their parents that said teachers don't have money. But these children decided by themselves they want to become teachers. Because teachers, we are repping. I'm not saying breakback, but we are repping. We are repping the teaching profession. so that it's attractive. Parents will see you and they're happy that, oh, this is my child's teacher. And then the children come to me, oh, I like your hair. I like your dress. I remember Adora, they tell her a lot, when she was in dancehall. And then you want to write on the board, and then you are saying you're not smelling well, and you're crossing your hand over a child's face. Excuse me, that child was, it's not good. I know that there are no teachers here like that, but please, if you have people like that, don't tell them. Okay, let me shock you now. It's not even about dressing. I remember one time I was chubby when I entered, when I used to be bigger than this. Do you know one time a child actually told me that I should lose weight? I am not lying. I'm not lying. A child told me, just to tell you how friendly I was with them. Yes, he told me I should lose weight. But they left dancehall after a while. So these children are looking, they know, and it's a modern, these are Gen Alpha people, whatever they call themselves. So you must, appearance matters. Let's not lie to ourselves. So nuggets of wisdom, it is only shallow people who do not judge by appearance. So we judge by appearance, all of us. Dress for the job. I'm telling you, that suit thing, I don't even know why you're wearing suit. It's not a must. You're not even in where that is snoring. If you can buy good shirts, dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Some people say, oh, it's just a teacher job. You dress anyhow. Excuse me. That means your future is not bright. Because if your future is bright, you are projecting your future by the way you dress, even if you are just going to a classroom that is paying you how much. All right, dress for the job you want. If you want people to listen to you, dress the message. All right, so that's what we said. Because of time, I'm going to hurry over this. Okay, look at this one now. If you met this woman in a wedding, what will you think of her? Is she overdressed? How is she dressed? Do you like the way she's dressed? Somebody said most schools have this dress. Okay. This one is error, except if you are going for a costume party, man. You can come like this. Okay, somebody said some school has a dress code. That's fine, but I hate it. I hate somebody putting me in a space saying wear yellow today, wear pink. Oh God, it's not like it's a choir. Even that's why sometimes this choir thing, thank God I go to a choir where they wear robe. It kills the creativity of teachers dressing. It's boring. Children get tired of it. I don't like it. Sorry. If your school does that, it's fine, but you can start to influence it so that they can stop it. All right. So it's limiting, actually. It doesn't give the teachers the opportunity to express. And then it's imagine coming to school every day, children seeing teachers on the same color. I know it's a choice. I'm not saying, Abbas, I'm not arguing, but I'm just saying for what it is. Because you're not, I think they think it from I don't know what they think, but sometimes from a child's perspective. Anyways, let's move on. That's not what I'm teaching here today. All right, so response to the image. Understanding the purpose of an event or a gathering informs your choice of clothing. All right, so it's best to know if you're invited for an event, know what we are going there to do. That's why when you come to church, let's say a church gathering, some people are wearing some things and they're like, hello, did you not know that you're coming to church? Do you understand? Do you not know that you're coming to church? This is not a party. So the problem is where some people do not understand. Do you know one day in my former school, somebody wear leggings to school? I was so mad. I was so angry. I had to report it to the head of school. that was why I decided to take because I took this training with them. I'm like, no, we should know what to do. So you honor yourself and the gathering by dressing appropriately. So another thing is that if they invite you to a space, know what the event is, dress appropriately. What it simply means that you are giving yourself respect by dressing appropriately, and also respecting the person who invited you. If you overdress or underdress, it makes no, I mean, you are disrespecting. So let's go to dressing fast. Dressing is a form of communication. It communicates your values and all of that. Looking good is a strategy, not vanity. So don't think that, they are forming. No, it's a strategy, because somebody may just see the way you dress and it just clicks for the person. How we dress is how we feel about ourselves. Let me tell you something. The way you dress is the way you feel about yourself. If you feel good and if you value yourself and you think that you're a valuable person, it will show in the way you appear, whether you are going to buy something outside or whatever, wherever you're going. The value we give ourselves is presented on how we present ourselves to the world. So you need to present yourself well. It is a way in which others evaluate us. So don't tell me, don't judge me. I will judge you. By the time you wear nonsense and come out, I will judge you. So if you don't want to be judged, make sure that you you dress properly where you're going to where you're going out. So this is what science says. The clothes we wear affect our behavior, attitude, personality, mood, confidence, and even the way we interact with others. This is called enclothed cognition. So you can go and find more about this, read about this. So how we dress affects. So let's get practical. So for men, this is generally but if you don't work in an AC place, but I'm just showing you where you have AC in the classroom, please don't kill yourself. But at least once in a while, you can wear your suit and tie. When you go to your class, you can hang your suit, just so that at least students can see the way you dress, but you then can hang your suit, and all of this is the classic for men. So these are casuals. These are casuals. So you can look at this, that these people are still properly dressed. So casuals you can wear, but make sure that they're very neatly worn. Just one thing about clothing is the neatness and how you wear it. And so tips to correctly dress for men: neutral colors such as blue, gray, white, khaki, black are guaranteed heat in a corporate setting. All right, so these are your colors for men: blue, gray. Don't say I don't work with Dangote. Remember, we're talking about personal branding here. Buy shirts, plain blue shirts, gray and all of that, white shirts. You see, all those check and all of that, sometimes they're not very good for corporate setting. Avoid wearing short sleeves to work. Please, short sleeves are not work proper, but even if you wear it, full shirts looks more professional. But even if you wear it, please don't wear tie. We're going to show that. Please, men, don't, even if you're going to wear short sleeve, please don't wear tie on your short sleeve, or don't wear suit on it. It's not proper at all. It's not. Shoes should be polished. Avoid wearing chunky necklaces or too many bracelets to work. So you see, the middleman is wrong. Please don't wear tie on your short sleeve. You can do this, the two by the sides. You see, that's what that's even wearing short sleeve under your suit is bad, because your suit, the inner white must be showing. All right, but even in professional setting, even short sleeves are not required. You rather wear a long shirt. Maybe if you're tired, you can now fold it up, but it's okay if short sleeve work for you, but don't wear tie on your short sleeve. Wear from women, the length of dress and skirt are important. It could be slightly above or below the knees. So if you're wearing your skirt or let it be slightly above or below the knee. Anything that is more than up is no, it's not meant for the office. It's not meant for work. All right, so you can see this. I'm going to be fast. These are casuals for women. You can dress like this to work so these are your casuals. All right. I hope you are seeing it. I'm not going to talk much about it. Tip for dressing properly in the workplace: dress like you care. Even if the workplace doesn't have strict rules and dress code, you should always display professionalism. Avoid showing too much skin. Always be well groomed. Your hair. Do not wear loud makeup to work. A nude look works best. Don't love Don't over accessorize. Even as a teacher, keep it simple, be stylish, but not too trendy. All right, let's look at this. Doors and so this middle one is bodycon. Please, it's too sexy for a work. But if we will wear something like this, please put on a jacket that we drop down. But that's bad. Why I put this this native, because it's too elaborate. It's too you are not the owner of the company. So you're not the owner of the space. It's not, you can wear native, but not this type. It should be simple. All right. So let's move on now. So for shoes, you can see these ones, all these ones that the thumbs up down. These ones that are slippers, you can wear it from your house and get to work. But when you get to work, you change to your shoes. You can see these ones in the middle, pink and that black one. These are work shoes. The other ones, no, they are not work shoes. Remember that we're talking about branding and personal values. Somebody say, so you can invest in them. At least I know from 9,000, 10,000, you can buy one. Okay, look at hair now. Some people wear the hair that you should wear under your wig to work. Oh my God, that's very bad. Sometimes the wig that some people wear should be burnt. They should be thrown into the bin and burnt. Look at these people now. It's not like they are, look at these two people down here. Look at the wig. Look at the other one, the weaved wig. My God. Sometimes, please don't look at the other ones, how neat their hair is. Even if you want to make your natural hair, please make sure that you're someone who has full hair and you have styled it in a very good way, not the one that these children have here, like schoolgirls, that you should wear under your wig. Please, they're not. So closing quote, being well dressed hasn't much to do with having good clothes. Is a question of good balance and good common sense. Oscar has said it all. It's not about money. It's not about having all the clothes in the world. It's just good balance and common sense. All right, this is just about dressing. You can read more how to dress for the job you want. So this is the last one now, and I'm going to be fast about it because this is supposed to be a longer course, but I just want to, merge everything today. So this is parent-teacher relationship. No school can work well for children if parents and teachers do not act in partnership on behalf of the children's best interest. So remember that in the classroom, you are partnering, or in a school, you are partnering with parents. So the class 6 tells us that in relationship, the one between teachers and students comes second, only to the one between parents and child. So I want you to take note of this. Your relationship with the child in your class is second to the one they have with their parents. This will guide you. And I don't want to say much until we get to, because I've mentioned things about that. Remember, you are not the father and the mother. You are the teacher. If no matter how amazing your relationship with that child, their parent come first and you are second. So you can rate your relationship with parents on a scale of 1 to 10. If you have any story to tell, maybe you tell the story later if there will be time, because there's no time now. So we're going to scale. So, but I want you to take note of that. Rate your relationship. And I have many stories to tell, but so let's look at wisdom for building a child-friendly parent relationship, because you are building a relationship with parents because of the child. I want you to know that. You're building a relationship with the parent because of the child. So one of the things you must do, parents are clients to the school, not your friend. Maintain a professional distance in your relationship. Hello, please, teachers, listen to this. This is the reason why the school that I taught before, they do not allow teachers from the school to do lessons for the children in their house. In short, if you are teaching in that school, or no, if school ever gets wind that you are teaching a child at home from that school, you will be let go. You'll be let go, because we realize that teachers use it to fumble and do all sort of nonsense. Go there and maybe start to discuss what is not with parents. And sometimes parents are smarter. They want to hear you say something and they can carry it about. So parents are clients, they are customers. They are not your friend. I'm not saying they're not your friend in that regard, but don't think that, because a parent is nice to you, they have become your friend. You now let yourself loose around them. You become chatter, chatter, chatter. You say things that are not supposed to. Then you talk to them, no. Treat them professionally. Let them know that you are here. No matter how much you are smiling and joking, and give it with an aura of professionalism. Let them know that you know what you're doing. You are respecting them. You are choosing your words carefully. You're not just laughing and hitting them or anything like that. Or engaging them with conversations that are, except if you knew that parent before outside school and you are friends, no problem. I'm not saying break it, but please, parents are clients. Treat them like one. The second, parents' opinion about their children come first, irrespective of how inaccurate they may be. Remember, please take note of the word inaccurate. Sometimes a parent may be very wrong about their child. Hello, don't over try to change that thing. Don't over try to change their mind on it. If they are insistent, leave it. What you can do is to do what you can do for that child. Because what will happen is that when you start to push your narrative too much, the parents will begin to say that you don't like the child, or you are the one affecting the child. So do what you can do, but don't over push it. Don't push it too much. All right? Even if they're not correct, but do what you can do. Communicate with them fairly and leave the rest. It's their child. It's not yours. All right? You are a bridge. You partner with the parent to the best interest of their children. That's what it is. We've said it. You are just a bridge. So since you are a bridge, your own is to communicate with the parents truthfully and leave the rest. Communicate to the parents their child's or children's strengths and challenges. State clearly what you are doing to improve the challenges. Suggest to them the supportive role they can play. So this is another thing you can do. When the parents are sitting in their class, after you have praised their child in a moderate, truthful way. Oh, he's so good at making friends. Let's say the child is not good academically. Find his strength. That child maybe he's the joker of the class. Maybe he's the one that likes running around. Maybe he's the one that is good with sport. Pinpoint on that. Why the parents so much? Maybe the child may not be. Sometimes you have the children who are so articulate and bold, but they may not be doing well in writing and all of that. Project it. That, oh, this child is such an amazing speaker. I think this strength will really. Oh, in class, he's good at helping out, blah, blah, blah. After that, say, okay, it's just that he has little challenges in math and all of that. So what we're doing is that the math teacher helps out, I think, so sometimes the parents can be like, okay, so what should I do? Then you suggest, always find something to tell them to do. Don't always leave the parents hanging. Or maybe he needs someone to really engage him at home with the subject, or there are online spaces. Please always suggest what they can do. It depends on what the problem is. Okay? Do your best for each child. Some parents may want to project their child's challenges on you. Be mindful of the guilt syndrome. This happens to a lot of teachers. They are always guilty. I did not do enough. The child, because the parents sometimes, we come and guilt trip you, especially at the end of the term. Especially third term now, that when after giving award, some parents will not want to talk to you because they think that you are the one that made their child not win an award, or you failed their child. Please, excuse me. That's why from the very start, you are doing your best for each child. So at the end of the school, who gets award, gets award. Anybody that wants to be sad will be sad. You beat your chest and raise your head high and know that you have done all that you needed to do. That's why I say, teachers, do your best. Let everybody see that you are doing it. Do not let any parent guilt trip you. I had a child that was brilliant in my class, very brilliant, since primary 2. He had never had anybody challenge his position. Then he got to primary 4, and then this new boy came. This new boy is smart, but it's not. The other boy can still beat him, but because that boy lacks comportment and proper care, he was playing. But the other new boy was, oh my God, very, very focused and knew what he wanted. And every teacher kept telling this boy, the way you are playing, the way at the end of school, at the end of last term, he came second. Glory be to God, for the first time since primary 2. He came second. That was not the only thing. I think that second was the only award he took. He was not the best in math. He was not the best in English. He was not the best in anything. He did not win. And the other boy, new boy, won how many awards? At the end, the mom was one of my best parents. That day, the mommy did not talk to me, but she was. It's not like I don't know what, but she talks to me. She talked to me after that. It's not, but that particular day, she not talked to me. But I wasn't guilty. You know why? Because she knew about this. We are saying it. So please, teachers, from the beginning, do your best for each child. Communicate with the parent. Let them know what you're doing. At the end of the school year, and their result is not good, please just go and say, Father, you see my heart. I've done my best. Nobody should get tripped because some parents want to project their children's challenge and say you didn't do enough. Show empathy to the parents and their children. Some parents genuinely need the help. There are some children that are difficult and have challenges. Sometimes some of these parents, some of them really don't have, some of them came into this parenthood without so much knowledge on what to do and how to go about. Please be nice. Be nice. Even though you say, see this one, no problem, but at least be nice. Try what you can do. I know one parent, I know maybe she wasn't my age mate. She'll come and be asking, so what should I do? I gave her many things to do. But at the end of everything, it still boils down on the values at home. But no matter what, in school, do what you can do. Be empathic, as in show empathy. Maintain a dignified but friendly presence. Don't be arrogant in approach. Don't because some parents want you to be bowing at their feet, especially if you want them to be giving you gifts. You will now be doubling for them. Please, teachers, don't do that. If you have value and you have class, you don't need to double for anybody. Because you have class, you already have that present, that warm, friendly presence, but they know that you are not, they can't be bent, you can't be bribed, you can't be, their gift does not move you. If they give you, fine. If they don't give you, fine. It does not move you the way you teach their children or the way you relate, it doesn't move you. So that's what it means, not just for parents, even for in the way you handle your fellow teachers. Be friendly. Don't be arrogant, but make sure that you're having a dignified presence means that your values and qualities and your class is very well communicated. The way you talk to people, the way you dress, the way you comport yourself, the way you play, everything is class act. Be ahead, always present a well-informed version of you. Let it be evident in the quality of your work. Parents respect teachers who are vast in knowledge and a master in their subject. Let parents know that you are good at what you. If you teach English, be good at it. Let it be evident. If you teach math, be good. If you teach whatever you teach, be good at it. Be ahead. Parents, unless if people teach in mushroom schools, but if you teach in a very where you know that you have class teachers, parents that are very intelligent, and the parents that are let me just use the word educated and poised, you can't just present anything. You want to make sure that they know that you are at par, that the fact that you're in the classroom does not mean that you don't know anything. They know that you are intelligent. They can see it. They know, they see it in their work. They see it when they communicate with you. They see it, in the report you write about their children. They will respect. So keep learning and growing. Be ahead. Don't let them catch you offhand. Catch you offhand. Is it offhanded now? Catch you unawares. All right. So feedbacks are important for your growth, whether they are respectively or vindictively presented. Receive them with positive outlook. Yeah, catch you off guard. Yes, and make the necessary correction at the end. You work more intentionally. I've mentioned this before. You need feedback from parents, from your colleagues, from your head of school. Sometimes feedback. I remember after when I was working at the second magazine, and my head of school looked at it and said, "Boring." I was sad. She didn't know how much work I put into that. And I said, you're looking at it from an adult viewpoint. These are children work. I don't know what this is what I was saying in my heart. So sometimes feedback can come harshly, but what it means that, as somebody gives a harsh feedback, you can jerk backwards, like reflect in your mind. So when you jerk backward, you want to ponder and say, okay, why? What did I do wrong here? What am I not doing right? No matter how it comes, whether that person wants to be, just hound you or saying it respectively, take it, sit back. If it makes you cry, it makes you sad, be sad about it, but look at it eventually and say, okay, how can I improve on? If there's any improvement, do it. You'll be better for it. So we are done now. So the quote is, great teachers focus not on compliance, but on connection and relationships. So, so how do I end this class? The truth is, well, at the end of this class, what I want you to take note of is the fact that as a teacher, you are the game in the class. You are bringing the experience, the intelligence, you are modeling behavior, you are modeling values, you are modeling everything good. You are the class in the classroom. You are bringing the quality, you are the one bringing the excellence in the classroom. It must reflect in the way that you speak, in the way that you dress, in the way that you relate with the children, in the way that you relate with the parent, in the way that you relate with the school authority. If you are giving projects, if you are giving work, lesson notes, it should be top notch. All of these things I'm telling you, I am not just telling you, these are the things that makes me what I am as a teacher, because I want to present a work that is worthy, a work that will inspire others, a work that will give value to someone else. So teachers, be ahead, and you will see that you are respected for it. So when you leave the classroom, you can boldly beat your chest and say, these are the things I've done within the classroom, and you can take that value somewhere else and be and offer that quality and excellence in any field or in anywhere outside the classroom that you find yourself. So thank you so much for listening.
Oh, amazing. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. You are the class. Like whatever you bring into the class, that is what is going to, that's whatever vibe you bring into the classroom, that's what your class will feed on. So literally, you are the class, you are the classroom. Whatever you do, whatever values you bring, whatever vision you have for your classroom, that will be the direction of your classroom. So there are so many parts of being the class. There are so many parts, there are so many things that we have to do to ensure that the vibe that we are giving, because I feel that's really what it is, the aura, the atmosphere that we carry, that's what is going to also be transmitted into our classrooms as well. So, and there are different parts of it, like, our facilitator has said for today, there are different parts of it, knowing your values, the way we dress, the way we speak, the way we relate with our students, what we do in our classroom, what we do outside our classroom is so important. That was amazing. Yes, I can see your claps. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we just say a big thank you to Miss Obi? Say a big thank you, thank you. Do we have questions real quick? Do we have questions? We can take 2-3 questions. Do we have questions? Do we have questions? Do we have questions? Do we have questions?
I want to know the Ibironke that I want to know.
It's Ibironke or Mobo.
Okay. I want to know where I know her from.
Where do you know Miss Obi from?
Is it
Calabar?
Please, I need to talk to you after the class, please.
Yeah, she's one of our in-house team members. So we'll give you her. I'll send her yourself together. Wow, amazing.
Oh my God.
You did wrong. Amazing. I see Miss Michael in the house. Hi, Miss Michael. Good evening. Yeah, she's here. She's here.
Okay, yeah, she is.
Do we have
I hounded her to join the class.
Amazing. Very compulsory. Do we have any questions with regards to any part of today's topic? Maybe the part of dressing, values, the part of parent-teacher relationship. Do we have questions? around those areas, or maybe there's an experience that you've encountered a situation and you are just literally confused, or you want to share maybe what you did in that time.
I think okay.
Okay, if you you can go ahead. You can unmute yourself.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you, Ms. IJ. We'll see after the class. All right, a quick one. Yeah, what do you do when your school ed is, or the school policy insists that you relate directly with parents? It's not one like my present school, that's what they do. They have teacher relates with parents, like communicate with parents. And personally, from where I'm coming from, we don't do that. And I really appreciate it. But now it seems to be a huge challenge for me when I'm being called to talk to parents and all that. So how do I handle that?
Okay, I understand. You worked in a school where every communication goes to the head of school before?
Yes. But now you have to, even if there is anything, now you have to face the parent, you communicate with the parents have your phone number, all sorts. And personally, it's not one of my value, and it's a must here in this new school. So how do I work with that? Sorry.
So I think first of all, breathe. It's not too difficult. Breathe in, breathe out. The truth is, it has its advantages and disadvantages, because some parents are not the nicest people to communicate. And sometimes you will think that you are really being nice towards the parent, but they can misconstrue your words. So what I would just say is, but it's also good for you to directly communicate to parents, because then you will share exactly. I mean, you are the one dealing with these children, so you know firsthand what it is and what exactly a child needs, and then you communicate. So I don't think it's a difficult thing. So I don't want you to be afraid of it. I just want you to speak to yourself, blow up your confidence, tell yourself that you are, this is where your values come on, like this shows your confidence, because if you cannot communicate with parents, it shows that are you afraid? Are you belittling yourself? Do you understand? So bolding up. These parents are okay. No, I know, but these parents are not. They're not high and mighty. Even if they're high and mighty, all right. Speaking with them builds up your confidence. It builds up your communication. So maybe you are someone who doesn't really communicate, who doesn't like communicating with people in that way. So what you can do is speak to yourself and make sure that for every time you want to speak to a parent, make sure that you already know what exactly you want to say and how to say it. All right, and make it brief. It even helps you. Exactly, they are human beings. So if you're an intelligent person, there's no parent that you'll be afraid to speak with. You know why? Because you know your game. You got your game, baby. You got it. So no matter how they are coming, you are ready. I mean, I'm not saying arrogantly. Do you understand? But for you now that you're just learning, be brief. If you want to say something to a parent, if you even want to write it down to look at it over and over, just do it, so that but by the time you keep doing it, you see you'll be okay with it. Or is when you don't know what to say then. And if a parent is asking you a question you're not sure, just say, oh, please let me find out about this, instead of muttering. And if a parent is trying to make long conversation, give them simple answers and move you away, because some parents, they want to, so this one, that one, say, okay, ma, I'll figure out about it. Okay, just make it brief. Just keep it always brief. Over time, you will be okay. All and right. then over time, keep speaking to yourself that there's nothing there. Just to communicate.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much. Someone, Moraya Abbas, wanted to make a comment on that. You can go ahead, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi. Okay. On the issue of having communication with the parents is really good for teachers because it will build in your self-confidence with the parents also. And you have a very good rapport, you can also network with them. So what takes place is that as teachers, we are built to be confident. We are role models. And talking to the parents, first of all, you have to make sure that you have your own research to know the type of parent, who they are, and what do they need. For example, where I work is also a very big school too. We have what we call the communication book, in which we use to communicate with the parents on a daily basis. Then apart from that, we also have what we call class meetings that will also make the teachers to have confidence in him or ourselves. We have class meetings where we talk with the parents on what we want to do. Even though there are challenges, we talk on one-on-one. But sometimes if the conversation is much, you can have another time with the parent. But you have to make sure that it goes with the school policy. Any question that is above your level, you can always refer it to the leader that's above you, especially the school policy, because there are some questions that will come in on school policy that you may not be able to answer. You should always refer, them to that. So that's just my comment for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. But I want to mention something. So Ronke is trying to say it's not a confidence issue. I get that. And then because she has not done it before, it's not a confident thing. I know some people just don't like engaging in that level. Even me, I used to run away. Before I left where I was running away from parents because I just don't want to engage sometimes. Exactly, I don't want to engage. But the point is just keep it brief. Just keep it professional distance. Yeah, what are you saying? All right, just say the little thing that whatever question they ask you, you just, you answer, and then you move on. Yeah. And when they come to your class for class reviews, instead of you sitting there and just say the little things, talk about the girl, and let the parents talk and ask you questions. Okay, after you maybe shared, you say, oh, she's this good at it. Okay, you can throw it to the parents. So what are your observations? What do you think we can work on? So you throw back the question on them.
Yeah. Exactly. Brief is a new weapon. Yeah. Sometimes with some parents, you just go straight to the point. I know, like when I was still in Downsville as well, I had that encounter with two parents, wanting to talk to me after school and all. They especially the ones I knew that they were trying to, because I was new and because at the time, they are way older, their parents, they were trying to influence my decisions. But by the time, and I knew doing spree helped, just speaking good English and big grammar. It really helps too. So by the time I say one or two and they don't understand, I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, bye. And I run back to my class, I'm done. Yeah, so different strategies for different.
That if you can speak good English, you have had your pass mark. If a parent just hears you speak and you don't have accent, like all those, maybe your village accent. They can condone a lot of other things you do. And then you now add good dressing to it. They come and you can see that you are neat from head to toe. Excuse me. You almost not do bad in their presence.
Yeah, wonderful. Awesome. Do we have any other question? Final question before we go. Final question. Anybody, or any comments? So quickly, what did we learn today? If parents can't figure out your tribe from the way you speak, you're good. Yes. Do we have any comments on what we learned today? Just drop it in the comments. What did you learn today? How was the class like? I need feedback.
Yes, we need the feedback.
How was the class today? How was the class? How was the class? Please don't give me an emoji. We should be okay. We don't roll like that. We don't do that in TSC. I don't work with emojis. Tell me how it was inspiring. What inspired you? Mission, vision, and values are pivotal. Thank you very much. Yes, that was what Praise learned. Brief. He said brief. I don't want brief. Please elaborate. Inspiring. What inspired you? Yes.
Can I hear about the teaching and the teacher too? The instructor, how well she did.
Yes. So how was Miss Obi's teaching today? What do you think? What do we think? Let me see if there's anybody I can bully. Praise, I want to ask you, how was the teaching today?
How come? You should give us feedback. I want to hear from, what's his name? Murayo, Mr. Murayo.
Fatima. The explanation was okay. Fatima says, so amazing. I love the class and personal branding the most. The explanation was so detailed. Ronke says, awesome as always. Ronke, I'll come into your DM and fight you. It's good, but explanation should be brief. Okay, so you wanted brief explanation while another person said the explanation was so detailed. All right. Okay. Wonderful. So that means we are going to put it in the middle. So okay, so yeah, wonderful. Thank you. What else? I'm still going to be coming into some of your DMs anyway to ask for full feedback from the people that I have access to here. Someone like Uncle Kwe, I'm going to ask him for details. Of course, I can ask him for details. Cannot run away from it. And
wait, is he here?
He's here. He's been here since the beginning. He's been here since the beginning. I'll come meet you. I'll come meet you. And Miss Michael will come and meet you as well to give feedback. But thank you so much, Mr. V. Thank you so much, everyone.